Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at a Cinderace card. And what's very weird, right? Just a couple of days ago, we looked at the first ever Dreadnought card. And we've been looking at quite a lot of first ever cards, because Sword and Shield is just starting to be shown off, and a lot of Pokemon are getting their first ever cards. This is the fourth Cinderace that we've seen so far. The fourth one! That is absolutely ridiculous. We've already seen the one from the set, which incidentally has a really nice ability that lets you move 2 energy from the discard pile onto it when you move from the bench to the active. We've already seen the one from the VDEX that can do 160 for 2 energy. We've already seen the Cinderace V, which has a nice little ability giving it free retreat and can do 140 for free energy as a basic. And now we've got another Cinderace. It is being revealed and released as a gym promo along with cards like Pikachu. And I tell you what, it ain't half bad, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't half bad. There are going to be Cinderace decks running around. There is one I'm going to show you in a few days' time. There is a lot of good stuff about Cinderace. So Cinderace then. I'm going to get bored of saying that word pretty quickly. It's got 170 HP, which is actually kind of nice. It's in line with the other two, if I'm honest with you. But still, it's quite high. We got a retreat cost of 2, which is actually 1 more than either of the other two. I'm not counting the V. The V's a bit different. But when the other two have got a retreat cost of 1 and you've got a retreat cost of 2, that's kind of a bit of a kick in the teeth, right? I mean, you've got Balloon for free retreat, but still, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. And we've got a water weakness here, which is all right. Water's not a phenomenal type at the moment, except that Frostmoth looks like it's going to be really good. I showed you a video about that a day or two ago. And if Frostmoth does end up being as good as Frostmoth looks like it's going to end up being, I think that water weakness might become a very bad weakness sooner rather than later. But you are a fire Pokemon, which means weakness on metal Pokemon like Lucario and Melmetal, or, you know, Zacian V, which is looking like the best deck in the format right now, as well as grass Pokemon like Rillaboom, for instance, which is another Pokemon I have very much got my eye on. That one looks like it might end up being really gosh darned good. Okay. Oh yeah, plus we've got Welder. Welder's pretty good. Accelerating energy, drawing cards, going to be useful. We're going to get to it later in the video. And then you got all kinds of other stuff like Giant Half to grab your energy and Heat Factory Prism Star to draw some extra cards. And essentially we just end up going, yeah, it's a really good time to be a fire Pokemon. Cool. But what does this particular fire Pokemon do? Well, our translation comes from the lovely David Hockman over at limitlesstcg.com/translation. Stop me if you've heard that one recently. And the first attack for a single fire energy lets you do 40 damage, and you attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. It's alright. It's fine. It's okay. It's not terribly inspiring, but it is fine. Now, bearing in mind the Cinderace from the set doesn't have a first attack, and the Cinderace from the VDEX does have a first attack. It's 1 colourless energy, 50 damage plus burn. Oh, I might like that one a little bit better, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the thing, right? Because we've now got 3 Stage 2 Cinderace that are essentially all coming in at the same time at the beginning of the run, we do need to look at this as a comparative exercise. We do need to look at this and go, right, this new Cinderace, is there any reason to play it over the other two? Are we going to play a mix of all 3, etc.? We cannot just ignore them. And the good news is you're accelerating energy, but the bad news is that we're not necessarily desperate to do so. Not when we've got Welder. Bearing in mind the Cinderace from Sword and Shield from the set proper has an ability that attaches energy from the discard, but it's an ability rather than an attack. And as for the 40 damage, yeah, sure, you'll take out Ditto Prism Star and any weak evolving Pokemon, but you're not going to get them all. You're not even going to get that many of them. Take something, I mentioned Frostmoth earlier. Well, Frostmoth evolves from Snom, possibly my favourite Pokemon from Sword and Shield. It's got some competition, but definitely in the top 3. Snom's got 50 HP. You're doing 40 damage, that kind of sucks. And sure, you can use a Vitality Band to do that extra 10 damage, that is an option. But by the same token, the one from the VDEX just does 50. And while we're here, it does 50 plus burn. So it's not actually 50, it's 70. Because they take 20 damage from the burn, and then flip to see if it goes away. So not only are they getting Snom, not only are they getting the 60 HP Pokemon like Inkay, Malamar's still everywhere at the moment, they're also getting the 70 HP Pokemon like Poipole. So if you're looking for a single energy attack, 40 and accelerating energy is fine, but we don't need to accelerate the energy in a fire deck, and we can do more damage. But how about the main attack? 2 fire, 1 colourless energy, 160 damage, flip a coin, if tails, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. And the thing is, this is where we start looking at Cinderace and going, ooh, yeah. This is a lot of damage to be done straight off the bat. And we've got Welder, and Welder is great. Welder lets you attach 2 energy from your hand and then draw 3 cards. So you play a Welder, attach for the turn, and oh look, there's the free energy on Cinderace, and all of a sudden you're hitting 160 damage, and 160 damage is a lot. 160 damage will take out the vast majority of single prize Pokemon. And you'll one-hit KO anything that's weak, even the really big boys like Celebi and Venusaur, going down in a single hit here for free prizes. Sure, they can use weakness guard energy, but some of them will be. If they do, they do. It's still a lot of damage to be done. You're not quite 2-hit KOing everything, cheers for that Snorlax VMAX, but you're still doing a rather large amount of damage on a single prize Pokemon for an energy cost which is extremely easy to pay. So surely there can be no huge problems here. Well, we need to look at the other Cinderace. The one from the set, for the same energy cost, does 190. Now, it's an automatic discard 2, rather than flip a coin if tails discard 2. But you do 190. And 190 is a straightaway one-hit KO on stuff like Ultra Necrozma, or indeed EV, that you're not getting with this other one. And that's a problem. Key numbers are being hit, key Pokemon are being KO'd, that you're no longer able to do so. And you might keep the energy, but as we've said, it's not a huge problem. And even the Cinderace, right, it's got a retreat cost of 1, and it's got an ability that attaches 2 energy from the discard pile when it moves to the active. So discarding the energy doesn't matter. Ouch. How about the VDEC Cinderace? Well, the Cinderace from the VDEC for 2 energy does 160 and discards all energy. So again, it's an automatic discard rather than on a coin flip, but you're doing 160 for 2 energy rather than 3. And again, because we've got stuff like Welder, we're just not that worried. So we definitely like the first attack of the VDEC Pokemon better, and we definitely like the main attack of the set Cinderace better. Honestly, I think this might be the worst of the free Cinderace. In a vacuum, it's actually quite a good card, with decent HP and pretty good attacks for fairly low energy. But these are all being released together, which means they're all going to rotate out together. Which means we're not looking at this in a vacuum. We're looking at this as a, hey, we've got 3 Cinderace, I wonder which is the better of them. And when we start talking about that, we go, yeah. Good point. So I'm going to go and give this Cinderace 3 Wassies. If we didn't have the other 2, I'd like it so much more. And to be clear, I don't think it's a bad card. But when I look at these 3 Cinderace, I might split the other 2 into a 2-2 line. I just really don't think I'm making space for this one when I could play the other 2. But I would be genuinely extremely interested to see where you fall down on this. Do you think they are better? Do you think they are worse? Are you seeing some love for this that I'm not seeing? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.